Pusha T or Malice?
To keep it a buck, I'm gonna go with Pusha T. So we're not gonna drink today.
That was not a top 50 verse.
No, about
My son can't tell you one Nas record. You heard? Like, let's keep it a buck here.
Yeah, but
like, let's keep.
That morning started with a laugh, one smug chuckle into a podcast mic that spiraled into the loudest silence Jim Jones has ever heard. That wasn't a top 50 verse, he snickered, waving off Pusha T like a taxi he'd never hail. 10 minutes later, he upped the ante. My son can't name a single Nas record. By lunch, the clip was everywhere, and by sundown, 3 of hip-hop's quietest killers were sharpening something far deadlier than a tweet. But that was only the spark. June 18th, 2025. Joe and Jada is barely 20 minutes in when Jones flips casual conversation into character assassination. Billboard stats, platinum plaques, who really influenced the culture, he rattles them off like receipts nobody asked for. He swears he loves Nas back in the barbecue days, yet somehow concludes he left the Queensbridge poet in second place behind Jay and X decades ago. The words aren't nuclear, but the arrogance is. He frames it as a public service, a veteran keeping it a buck. Across the table, the hosts exchange the kind of smile that says, "This clip is going everywhere." It does. Overnight, hashtag Jones vs. Legends sits atop X's trending tab. Old heads post side-by-side Hot 100 charts. Younger fans meme Jones deep-faked into the Titanic orchestra, still playing while the ship goes down. The next day, Complex uploads a supercut of every time Jones has shaded Pusha T since 2023.
It went viral on the Spotify Rap Caviar podcast.
Yes.
About Pusha T.
People don't like people, yes. There we go. And then look what happens. But I'm ready for all things, man. Shouts to Pusha, shouts to that guy, shouts to the Clipse. Congratulations.
Do you like the new song?
No, but
You don't like Ace Trumpets?
Oh, that's so great.
It's so good. It's so So yeah, there's something going on that you ain't tell us about,
It's
bro.
good and what? The nostalgia.
You don't think Ace Trumpets
I
is
don't believe
hard?
it. I don't believe them. But that's a whole other story. I don't want to get anybody's rap.
I ain't heavy.
But I don't listen to their music. I never have. I can't recall so many records that.
Rap Caviar, Breakfast Club, Bag Fuel, each version louder, each rationale thinner. Yet the real damage isn't digital. In studios from Virginia Beach to Queens, 3 men who rarely agree on anything agree on this. Silence has limits. Nas scrolls, smirks, and pockets his phone. Pusha calls Malice 2 words, it's time. Pharrell is already texting. The match isn't lit, it's tossed. And the culture smells smoke. Hip-hop loves a circus, but even clowns have hierarchy. Benzino records a 3-minute rant. Jimmy's not even close. Stop embarrassing yourself, bro. Shannon Sharpe drags Jones on nightcap, reminding him that lyricism and algorithms aren't synonyms. Fans stitch TikToks of school kids reciting "If I Ruled the World," while Jones's Dipset classics play unnoticed in the background. But ridicule is only half the echo. Veteran bloggers raise a darker point. Jones might be picking sides in a larger Cold War, Drake's side. After all, Drake crowned Jones an honorary Dipset member on stage in Harlem last year, and Jones hasn't missed a chance to return the favor.
At all, ever. He's never been talked about like this ever in his life.
Now, has Nas reached out to you?
You did. The last time he was in some like this where people were comparing is when him and Jay was
I knew you
beating
were
on
gonna say
him.
that.
You heard? You did? Like, and I don't want to talk about other people's career, but let's just get to the
Have you spoken
semantics
to
of
Nas
it.
since the whole
I don't
thing?
know Nas.
Okay.
I don't know Nas to have a conversation with him. You want to have a conversation, we can have that too and shit like that. You dig? Like, I don't really care.
One thing I
about
did see you do, I've seen you do this in Say Less, I've seen you do this in the studio.
Pusha versus Drake isn't new. Jones jumping into the crossfire feels strategic or maybe sacrificial. Either way, the timeline interprets it as Drake proxy beef, and that turns a Dipset legend into combustible collateral. Meanwhile, reporters reach out to Nas's camp for comment. They get nothing, no tweet, no quote, no ghostwritten subpost. Silence weaponized. Because the quietest replies hurt the loudest egos. 3 days after the podcast, Nas shows up on Instagram wearing a charcoal suit that costs more than most rappers' advance checks. Behind him, a scale model of a sprawling glass and steel resort. His voiceover is calm, almost fatherly. The future isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. The clip reveals a US $5.5 billion partnership to expand Resorts World Queens into a mixed-use casino, hotel, and tech hub. No bars, no disas, just business and a caption, "Let's bring the future home." In one 30-second reel, Nas reframes the entire feud. Jim's clout chase feels like sprayed graffiti. Nas's move looks like urban planning. Media outlets pivot. Forbes explores rapper-led real estate empires. Wall Street Twitter debates whether hip-hop is the new private equity pipeline. And in barbershops from Brooklyn to Brixton, the verdict is unanimous. Money talks louder than microphone bravado. Jones grins through it, but the grin twitches. He posts a selfie outside a Harlem bodega with the caption, "Real empire right here." Yet even diehards sense deflection. Because when giants flex budgets instead of bars, attention follows the bigger bankroll. Flashback to Paris, June 2023. Louis Vuitton menswear SS24. Pharrell's first runway as creative director is already the ticket of the season. Jay-Z leans in. Beyoncé shades glint under Eiffel Tower lights, and then the speakers erupt. Snarling drums, metallic guitar, Pusha T's voice coiled like barbed wire. You think it'd be valor amongst veterans / I'm watching your fame escape relevance. Everyone in the front row knows exactly who he's talking about. Cameras cut to Jones's name trending before the beat even fades. But the real surprise isn't Pusha, it's no Malice.
And when I was coming home one day and talking with myself, I said, I'm just gonna live. Forget this guilty, feeling. Forget all this regret. Do what you wanna do. Ain't nobody else tripping like you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and party and do it up. And I literally tried to sear my conscience, like forget it. So when people say you found God, I did not find God. I was trying to party with the devil. Trust me, I was trying to go hard. God himself said, no, not you. He did not allow me to do it. And that's what I seen with my own eyes, whether anyone believes it or not.
Rapping like the past 15 years were just warm-up laps. The brothers stride the runway in tailored LV, verse after verse slicing rumors to confetti. It's theatrical revenge staged as high fashion, and the internet gorges itself on every frame. Backstage, Pharrell tells reporters it's only a taste, but refuses album questions. Malice says nothing, his grin says enough. Jones reacts with an Instagram laugh video, not a top 50 verse. The attempt at dismissal only amplifies the moment. GQ drops a feature unpacking every subliminal, every outfit detail, every alliance implied. And suddenly the quiet brother is the loudest omen. May 30th, 2025. Midnight. A trumpet riff kicks open the door, then Pharrell's percussion detonates. Ace trumpets hit streaming, Push's voice cooler than dry ice. Crucify the critic if he's never cracked a record / how you measure legends when your metric's just attention? Less than an hour later, Pitchfork stamps Best New Track. Rock Nation confirms Let God Sort M out for July 11th. But the finer print matters more. Clipse bought themselves out of Def Jam after the label tried to mute Kendrick Lamar's verse on Chains and Whips. 7-figure exit fee, all for 3 uncensored bars some execs feared would upset the White House and Drake's camp.
I would say he's the greatest of all times. The relevancy that he keeps showing year after year, hit after hit, record after record. Any record that he has put out has seemed to go multiple platinum. Like that's never has happened before in this history. I mean, there's a few other people that do astronomical numbers like that, but he really in it. Like, you know what I mean?
The drama turns Clipse into folk heroes, artists willing to pay for freedom. Tracklist leaks show Nas on Sins of the Father, Kendrick on the album version of Chains and Whips, Tyler the Creator on a snarling uptempo called Fico, John Legend crooning the hook to Angels and Cartels. Every guest looks like an endorsement Jones can't buy. Jones pulls up to the BET Awards in a flaming red leather jacket, faces bootleg Kev's inevitable question, lobs another grenade. What's so great about the song? It's nostalgia, bro. Viewers roll their eyes. Hot 97 uploads a supercut titled, When Denial Becomes Coping. The harder he swings, the wider the gap feels. True to form, he heads straight to the booth. By dawn he uploads Chains and Whips, Harlem version, to SoundCloud, a freestyle over Clipse's beat, packed with dipset ad-libs and teeth-grit bravado. Fans click curious, critics sigh. Within 48 hours the original track gains another 8 million plays, while Jones's response stalls at 600K. Reaction videos label it decoff diss, beef jerky bars, diesel without torque.
I'm way more influential than Nas, and I don't care what nobody say. I know I made a little boo-boo when you talk about the sales and all this type of shit. I don't feel like getting into that rhetoric about where I started and where he started.
Well, you said that
but
bullshit.
Listen, Nas was nice when I was in high school. When I was in 10th grade, Nas came out. Nas was dope. We appreciated him. He had a little bit run. But Nas always came up second to Jay and DMX and all these other people. Like,
Ain't no shame in that. There a lot of mofos came up second to Tom Brady.
He never had that type of influence on us, except for his first album.
On Nightcap, he tries a numbers game. Look at their tour history. How many festivals they doing without nostalgia? Shannon Sharpside Eyes retorts numbers. Nas just signed a $5 billion deal you can't even spell.
The future is not something you wait for. It's something you build. It lives in the hands of the doers, the dreamers, the people who refuse to stand still. Resorts World is more than a casino. It's energy, it's opportunity, it's hope for the borough. A second chance for some, a first step for many. It's where community gathers, not just to win, but to build a future once imagined. This isn't just business, this is legacy. And now, it's time to invest.
The clip gets more traction than the freestyle. The problem isn't bars, it's narrative. Every Jones jab bounces off a wall of headlines celebrating Clipse's business savvy, Nas's investment muscle, Pharrell's fashion empire. Even Drake stays quiet, and silence from a superstar reads like strategic distance. By week's end, Jones's voice sounds oddly small inside the echo chamber he built.
Make some noise for the Clipse. And for Genesis.
Now hold on. DC, make some noise for the Clipse, y'all.
Is that the right?
Yo! Let's go! In 2 years, like I was batting back cruising. Business shows and guns capping and consuming. I would just assume me to keep it cool, but I got one question.
June 23rd, LV headquarters, Paris. A listening party, invite only, NDAs thicker than runway carpets. LeBron sneaks a 15-second IG story of Nas's verse. 3 lines, no names, yet the whole internet howls, body bag, before Rock Nation yanks the clip. Paparazzi catch Jay-Z stepping out with Kendrick, Pharrell, and Tyler. The caption, Legends Summit, writes itself. Bloggers spot Drake unfollowing Jones on Instagram, then refollowing 2 Clipse fan accounts. Petty or positioning, no one knows.
Always say, you know, Jim, I wasn't talking about you.
I mean, and I would be hurt. That would be heartbreaking. I would be so upset. You heard?
You was talking about me. You were.
Spotify banners announce a global takeover once the album drops. Apple Music teases an immersive doc. Def Jam issues a boilerplate no comment, but insiders whisper Universal regrets letting the duo walk. Back in Harlem, Jones records content for his Capo Cuisine vlog. Comments flood with trumpet emojis and the phrase, let God sort 'em. Every post, every promo slot feels hijacked. It's not a blackballing, it's a benching, organic and brutal. And the scoreboard is now lopsided beyond repair. When the clock strikes midnight July 11th, Let God Sort 'Em Out lands like an asteroid. The intro track samples a preacher shouting, "Judgment starts at home." Fans swear that's a double entendre for both spiritual reckoning and industry payback. Reviews compare the album to Hell Hath No Fury in Menace, to 444 in Grown Man Insight. Nas's verse trends separately. Kendrick's uncensored bar spawns think pieces on free speech and corporate fear. Jim Jones tweets, album's cool. Respect, but the algorithm mostly ignores him. Dipset loyalists still spin his catalog, yet for the broader audience, Jones's rant lives as a footnote, the rant that resurrected Clipse. And that's the cruel poetry. The very mouth that tried to shrink legends accidentally inflated them. Pusha and Malice are charting higher than ever. Nas is rewriting the playbook on rapper wealth. Pharrell just sold out LV skate decks featuring the album art. Jones? He got the viral moment he wanted, minus the leverage he needed. So when fans ask whether he'll drop another diss, the real question hangs heavier. If a comeback track drops in a forest of louder triumphs, does anybody hear it? Hip-hop history loves loudmouths, but it immortalizes chess players. Jim Jones preached relevance. Nas built permanence. Jones mocked catalogs. Clipse expanded theirs. In this cautionary saga, the loudest man became the marketing plan, and the quiet ones let streams, suits, and runway lights answer for them. Next time a mic goes live and a veteran feels spicy, remember, every hot take is an unpaid press release for someone else's empire. And the cost of that clout? Sometimes it's relevance you can never get back.